am Christopher Scott, and this is Mellow TV Sports. Mellow TV Sports gets out of the block with some track and field news as Day 2 continues at the National Stadium with the ISA Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. Christopher Young of Edwin Allen had the furthest throw of the boys' javelin open prelims with a distance of 55.28 meters to qualify for the finals. Jaden Takeoff Kingston College 54.67 meters and LeBron James of Jamaica College 53.77 meters round out the top three throws with 9 others making the final. There will be no Calabar athlete in the final of the boys' Class 1 400 meters as they failed to make the finals as the fastest loser. Gregory Price of St. Jago High has the fastest time of the boys heading into the final with a time of 46.60 seconds. Dejanay Oakley of Clarendon College was the top performer of the girls' Class 1 400 meter semifinals with the fastest time clocking 52.77 seconds. The shirt worn by Diego Maradona when he scored his infamous Hand of God goal against England at the 1986 World Cup is expected to sell for at least $5.23 million. The shirt is to be auctioned. The iconic blue away shirt, currently owned by former England midfielder Steve Hodge, is expected to fetch more than £4 million. Maradona also scored one of the greatest World Cup goals in that game on the way to winning the tournament. After Maradona died in November of 2020, Hodge said the shirt was not for sale. Midfielder Hodge, who appeared in 2 World Cups for England and won 24 caps, has been in possession of the shirt since swapping it with Maradona in the tunnel after the 1986 World Cup quarterfinals between England and Argentina, which Argentina won 2-1. He loaned the shirt to the National Football Museum, where it has been housed for 20 years, but it will now be auctioned by Sotheby in London, with bidding opening from April 20 to May 4. The current record price for a shirt worn during a game is held by New York Yankees baseball legend Babe Ruth's jersey, which was sold for $5.6 million or 4.4 million pounds in 2019. On to NBA news now. The Los Angeles Lakers have missed out on a place in the NBA playoffs after suffering a 7th straight defeat in losing to the Phoenix Suns. The Lakers, again without the injured LeBron James, were beaten 121-110 by the Western Conference leaders. It is just the 4th time in LeBron James's 19-year career that he has failed to make the postseason. The 17-time NBA champions sit 11th in the Western Conference, with teams from 7th to 10th in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference progressing to the play-ins. The 2 teams from each division can then secure a place in the end-of-season playoffs via the play-ins route. The Lakers had to win to stand any chance of extending their season after the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Denver Nuggets 116-97 earlier in the evening. The Utah Jazz beat the Memphis Grizzlies 121-115 after overtime in Salt Lake City. The Jazz's win, combined with the Minnesota Timberwolves 132-114 defeat to the Washington Wizards, means Utah are guaranteed to be no worse than 6th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. Kyrie Irving scored 42 points as the Brooklyn Nets beat the Houston Rockets 118-105, while Tyler Hero scored a season-high 35 points as the Eastern Conference leaders, the Miami Heat, beat the Charlotte Hornets 144-115. The Milwaukee Bucks are now tied for second behind Miami after a 127-106 victory against the Chicago Bulls. Despite the defeat, the Bulls secured their first playoff berth in 5 seasons after the Cleveland Cavaliers lost 120-115 against the Orlando Magics. The Philadelphia 76ers beat the Indiana Pacers 131-122, and the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Portland Trailblazers 98-94. And finally, in the sports news tonight, Iga Swiatek moved 1 spot to the top of the WTA rankings this week, becoming the first tennis player from Poland to be number 1 in the sport. The 20-year-old Swiatek takes over from Ash Barty, who announced last month she would be retiring at the age of 25 after more than 2 years at number 1. Swiatek won the 2020 French Open and is currently on a 17-match winning streak that includes the title at the hard-court Miami Open, where she defeated Naomi Osaka 6-4-6 love in the final on Saturday. And that followed Swiatek's triumph at Indian Wells, California last month, making her only the 4th woman to compete what's known as the Sunshine Double and another trophy in Doha, Qatar in February, so she is the first woman to win the first 3 WTA 1000 events in a year. She is the 28th woman to lead the rankings. Osaka is a former number one whose run to her first tour final in more than a year allowed her to go all the way from number 77th to number 35. Miami Open's men's champion Carlos Alcaraz, an 18-year-old from Spain, jumped 5 spots to number 11 at the ATP rankings, his highest showing so far. Novak Djokovic remains number one despite not having played at Indian Wells or Miami Wells because he has not been vaccinated against COVID-19 and could not travel to the United States. And those are the stories making sports news tonight. I'm Christopher Scott. Remember, stay safe and pleasant viewing.